I have to ask you, other than Monty Lee, were you maybe the happiest person to hear Chris Williams coming back?
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember, honestly, I remember going through my phone and I saw something on Twitter that said he was coming back, and I called him and I was like, dude, I'm really excited that you're coming back and stuff. And I mean, it's a big bat in our lineup. What do you gotta say? When he's healthy, the stats say and everything else says that that he's a guy that pitchers don't want to face. So that's always good to have a bat like that coming back, and him getting healthy too and going to be ready to go for the season is a big deal.
And he'll provide protection for you. I'm assuming he'll probably hit behind you in the lineup.
Yeah. I think that's a big deal, not only just for me as protection, but just, like I said, I think being through and through, having guys that have the ability to put the ball to the yard and put it, anywhere out of the yard, if it's right, left, or center, is just obviously a big threat. Coach Lee preaches, that you can't defend against a home run, and, he's a guy that can put a bunch of those out.
Y'all were really red hot when he got injured there at the end of the season, and it seemed like the season kind of took a turn from there. Not that y'all didn't still have a great team, but do you feel like he could have gone all the way if maybe he hadn't gotten hurt?
Obviously, it's always, if we were here in this situation or there, I can only go off of, what happened this past year. I can't predict anything. I don't know that. I can't read the future if certain stuff happened. But the thing I would say is, I think moving forward, we can't dwell on that kind of stuff on, what could have been, what would have been if, he wasn't hurt, or, this guy was okay, or, we can't go by that because, the game of baseball is just like, it's give and take. Guys get in certain situations, teams get in good situations just by pure luck sometimes, and that's just how the game falls, and that's what makes this game so great. So, just looking forward to this fall and then going into the spring, I think we got a lot of freshmen that can fill some big roles. They work hard and they're dedicated to what this team stands for and what this team wants to do in the future, and I think that plays a big role in success in the future for us.
Your first 2 years, you can put your numbers up against anybody. So what does Seth Beer do to get better?
I become a more complete player, and I'll tell you, I did that. Lost 15 pounds this off season. Just really trying to lean out, be more athletic. And I've really worked on improving my defense at first base. I've made the decision to try to move all the way to first base, and I've been enjoying it. I've been working as much as I can at first base, and the thing I kept telling myself is that if I can hit this much, I need to do just as much defense. And I said, if I do that, I think I'll be okay, because I do hit a lot. So so it's just one of those things. Every day I've been going out and just trying to get better defensively, and it's been great. It kind of keeps that edge that you want to go out every day and get better. And in the end of the day, I want to be a better complete player and not just a hitter, and I want to be known for that. So that's just kind of been my goal this off season and going into this fall, and I'll just keep it going throughout the rest of the fall and hopefully leading into spring.
How much did Brady help you with your technique at first base?
He was great with teaching me things. I think just really with the mental side of certain situations and all that stuff, just him being there and the experience is big. And Paulson has been a guy that's been great for us. And him coming back, him obviously playing in the big leagues at first base and getting able to pick his mind on that, he's been really good, and he's taught me stuff in a short span throughout these these little team practice things that we have throughout the course of early fall. And I've learned light years more than I did before that even that day, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of stuff I know right now that I didn't an hour ago. So I think stuff like that, and being able to see a guy like that, and he's able to show the drills and show our first baseman what they need to do, because the guy was just there. He can do it all. So I think being able to have that kind of stuff is just huge when it comes to developing players, not just myself but others, and having those kind of eyes. And even Coach Davidson, him being out here, him also being a former big leaguer in the outfield, we have a lot of young guys that are freshmen that are outfielders, and him being able to coach those guys up and tell them, by experience, what he thought would be good in certain situations. And kids are just growing as players, just even in the short time that we've had.
Playing with Team USA, what are some lessons and experiences that you've gained from that time?
That's a great question. It's a great question. They're right there. I think some of the things I definitely took away from it was is defense really matters. I DH'd a lot of games this past summer, and it wasn't because of anything else that guys out there were just better, and I understand that. And at the end of the day, we need to win ball games, and I remember that was the first time I said defense really matters, And and when I got back for this offseason, said, I really need to work hard at this because, I don't want to be known as a DH for the rest of my career. I want to be known as a complete guy that can be reliable on both sides of the ball. So, for me, that was really the biggest thing I took away. Before that, I really just thought it was all about hitting and everything else was just another thing. But now I'm just determined to get as good defensively as I am offensively. If that happens, so what? But I'm going to try my best to get to that point.
Is that one of the things though, where you put the outfield glove up and just say, I'm just gonna go at this 100%, or
oh yeah,
is it still out here?
I think right now I'm just going out there 100% at first base. I think that in the future that could be a position I might play maybe at the next level. And obviously with all these great athletes and great players nowadays, for the USA team, the guy in left field ran a 6'4", center fielder ran a 6'2", and our right fielder ran a 6'5". So it's like those guys are all center fielders in college and at the big Division I schools, and those guys are all playing the outfield now, and left, center, and right, and that's just how the outfield has turned out to be, and that's what it's kind of evolved to be. And I'm not one of those kind of runners, so just trying to find a position that almost that I can fit into and just work my way in and just show people that I'm good defensively.
Thank you.